Hey, what do it, y'all? Swish Entertainment putting y'all on to all y'all favorite rappers and celebrities. Like, but first, I need a little favor down for y'all. First, please like, comment, subscribe to this video, hit the notification bell as well every year so you put y'all on to this story. Now, today we'll be talking about Diddy once again as his criminal federal trial once again commenced today. In court, two testimonies are taking place, one being from an LAPD officer that had arrived at Kid Cudi's house following an alleged home invasion, and the other being from an arson investigator. This second witness is being said to have investigated the explosion of a black Cadillac Escalade, which had taken place in the month of January in 2012. This, of course, follows the testimony that Diddy's former assistant Capricorn Clark had given yesterday. So the prosecution had called the LAPD officer Christopher Ignacio to take a stand in court, and they will question him about a 911 call from the day of December 11th in 2011. Christopher Ignacio describes his call as code 3 with lights and sirens. Christopher Ignacio will go on to unveil that he was called to a Hollywood Hills address, which is Kid Cudi's household. This is a location where it is believed that both Diddy and his associates had performed a break-in. Kid Cudi's black Cadillac Escalade was also destroyed at this residence by a Molotov cocktail. Christopher Ignacio, during his testimony, had made the claim that he did see a black Cadillac Escalade at the residence that he had arrived to. Christopher Ignacio also stated that he has a recollection of the license plate that was on his black Cadillac Escalade and said that he was suspicious that this black Cadillac Escalade had driven off as soon as they had arrived on the scene. Christopher Ignacio continued on to convey that during their investigation of the residence, they had found the front door unlocked and they will find both expensive watches and purses, some of which were still gift wrapped. He next had stated that two detectives had arrived on the scene and they saw the same black Cadillac Escalade driving downhill, and after this, Kid Cudi would arrive in his Porsche. Christopher Ignacio then had made the claim that he ran the license plates of the black Cadillac Escalade, which he had discovered had belonged to Bad Boy Records. Bad Boy Records, of course, is a music company that is ran by the music mogul Diddy. Diddy's defense team will orchestrate a cross-examination of Christopher Ignacio, which will be conducted by Diddy's attorney, Brian Steele. Brian Steele, to begin with, had requested that Christopher Ignacio confirm that these events had taken place 13 years ago. Christopher Ignacio had given the confirmation and said that no furniture was upended at Kid Cudi's house. Brian Steele, venturing forward, will question Christopher Ignacio had referred to this incident as trespassing instead of burglary. However, the judge Arson had made the decision to sustain the prosecutor's objection. Christopher Ignacio, in addition, had stated that Kid Cudi seemed calm upon having arrived at the scene and that he did see security cameras at Kid Cudi's residence. Christopher Ignacio was questioned about if he would have issued a police alert if he suspected that there was a firearm inside of Diddy's black Cadillac Escalade. Christopher Ignacio had confirmed that he did not put out a police alert. This will conclude the Los Angeles Police Department officer's testimony, and Christopher Ignacio will be excused. Now, the next witness that had given his testimony had revealed the fingerprints that are connected to the alleged home invasion of Kid Cudi's Hollywood Hills home had been destroyed. An arson investigator has spoken about the Molotov cocktail that was thrown into Kid Cudi's vehicle all the way back in January of 2012, which prosecutors believe was driven by Diddy being enraged and his former girlfriend Cassie Ventura being heavily involved with Kid Cudi. The arson investigator conveyed that him and his unit had came across the Molotov cocktail, which had fingerprints on it. This Molotov cocktail, according to the arson investigator, was in fact used to detonate Kid Cudi's vehicle. The arson investigator has stated that the fingerprints belonged to an unknown woman. The arson investigator next had testified that Diddy had given his unit fingerprint cards from a burglary that was carried out in the month of December in the year 2011 at his residence. According to the arson investigator, Diddy had involvement with this burglary as he is being said to have been present at the household. The arson investigator, continuing forward into his testimony, had conveyed that the fingerprint cards were destroyed in the year 2012 by the Los Angeles Police Department. Diddy's defense team will point out the arson investigator's claim, saying that this evidence could be supportive of their defendant Diddy, given that the fingerprints at the burglary did not match the fingerprints at the scene of Kid Cudi's vehicle's explosion. The defense team made the argument that the prosecution was aware that if they were suggestive that the fingerprints were destroyed, then this would lead to prejudice of the defense team's case, but they proceeded to anyway. The jury was sent out of the courtroom, and Diddy's defense attorney Alexander Shapiro had said that federal agents were trying to plant the idea with these jurors that Mr. Combs had something to do with the destruction of these fingerprints. Now, mind you, as previously reported, the arson inspector had made the claim that these fingerprints were destroyed by the Los Angeles Police Department. So Diddy's defense attorney in her statement likely is trying to insinuate that federal agents are conveying that both Diddy and the Los Angeles Police Department had dealings to have the fingerprints destroyed. Judge Arson will deny Diddy's defense lawyer's motion for a mistrial. But yeah, let's go. Capitalize me on these in the comments. We all think of the testimonies given by the Los Angeles Police Department officer and the arson investigator today. Do you all think the arson investigator's claim that the fingerprints on the Molotov cocktail bottle belonged to an unknown woman is clear confirmation that Diddy did not have involvement with the detonation of Kid Cudi's vehicle? Do you all think the arson investigator's claim that the fingerprints that were found on the Molotov cocktail belonged to an unknown woman serves as clear-cut confirmation that Diddy did not have involvement with the detonation of Kid Cudi's vehicle? Let all of you know in the comments here. That's gonna do it. I'm out.